Hi, my name is A.R. Arthur, and I am the author of Ideology, Spontaneity, and Hyperreality, which is a collection of sociological essays on globalization and postmodernity. Now, these two areas of focus have been really important to me since I was about 14 or 15. Not necessarily because I agree with everything in them, as most sociologists would find a great deal to critique in both globalization theory and, of course, postmodernist theory at large. But I think that they help us to understand sort of the holistic uncertainty and the great sense of spontaneity that makes this era so interesting and also so difficult to ascertain on a wider ideological or theoretical or socio-theoretical sort of thread, and how rather we can't really isolate how society now has sort of changed and developed in ways that were unexpected and of course spontaneous and driven by a variety of ideological factors, and as well of course as the ideological disruptions that have been happening in the postmodern era. Of course, it's also important to consider the fact that now, as we move into an era where meta narratives are constantly, collapsing and growing and changing and morphing and ebbing and flowing, lots of synonyms. It's important to understand that in the social world for which we live, ideas like global capitalism or globalized capitalism, globalized crime, ideas like the collapse of the West or the rise of the East, depending on how you frame it, or even the idea that democracy is an illusion in late stage capitalist society. So it's very, very important that when we think of these ideas, I think as sociologists, oftentimes I feel that with a background of being a poet and novel writer and prose writer at large, I think it's always really important that when we consider sociological themes, that we present them in a way that's approachable. I think everyone should not only learn sociology, but have a basic understanding of all its theoretical frameworks from a high school level if you're in the UK and you're doing GCSE or A level, etc., or whether you're in the US and you have the option to take some classes beyond school, or beyond even your degree if you're coming to sociology later on in life. But I think sociology helps us to be more critical, more objective, and a lot fairer in our understanding of both people and, of course, society, which, it's one big circular process, isn't it? Because people create the society, and society then becomes reinforced and reiterates itself, and it becomes a self-fulfilling process, and then it goes right back to the people. So this is a collection that has some of the word economy choices of a poet and the linguistic choices of someone who enjoys literature, but it also seeks to provide a theoretical basis and understanding, whilst also adding to the body of literature. Now, this collection is a collection of snappy essays that are meant to engage, but also to be relevant. So there is a great use of relevant examples. So, for example, the Giselle Pellicot case in France, for example, as of late. It also touches on ideas of the left and the right and how both fulfill, maintain, and obviously perpetuate late-stage capitalist processes in the 21st century. And in addition, this collection also takes great umbrage with the patriarchy, of course, coming from a mix of both feminist and postmodern theoretical understandings of how globalized capitalism within globalization or globalization as a framework both serves and acts against the ability for a woman to mobilize in the face of a patriarchy that's both collapsing but also still has quite a strong hold depending on the context in which it's considered. So as we sort of ponder these ideas, I wanted to create a collection that was approachable, accessible, but also something that was fully referenced, fully understood, had sound theoretical and academic underpinnings, and of course reached out to the average person who may never have had any sociological understanding at all. Because if sociology as a study of society can't serve people to improve society and to make it better, then what's the point, right? So on that note, my name is A.R. Arthur. I'd be really, really grateful if you checked out Ideology, Spontaneity, and Hyperreality, which is now available with Alien Buddha Press. And I'm so grateful to the team over there for their support with this collection. And yeah, it's also, I should also say, it's also been referenced by some fantastic folks, including Nolan L. Fontaine, at Lisa Marie Armstrong, and of course Corinne Mosdorf, who was actually one of my my bachelor's seminar tutors at the University of Amsterdam in sociology, of course. So thank you so much, and I hope to hear your thoughts on this collection very soon.